from just inside and just outside the perimeter of Atlanta, Georgia.
No one
Where?
says where I live is just outside the perimeter. Everyone knows you need a passport to get to where I am outside the perimeter.
And take two.
You're no fun. I was trying to energy here. Oh my god. Okay.
All right. From just outside and just inside the perimeter of Atlanta, Georgia, where? The tailgate was lit, but that was about it. I finally gotcha.
Yeah, no,
Finally gotcha.
That was good. That was good. You get props for that one.
And we're back. I think I earned that one.
You did. No, that was good. That was almost as good as Sarah's suggested title the other day. Oh God, what was it? It was so funny. It was so funny. Because she said I was going to hate it.
It was something along the lines of the one where we went and had a good time with our friends at the tailgate, and then we said, "Fuck this, we're leaving." Like,
yes,
yeah, like bye.
Yes, it was that, and then Sarah full on expected me to shred it, but I was like, "Nah, man, that's brilliant. No, that's totally brilliant."
It was great. It was great. It was in fact the inspiration behind my title. So shout out to the Lady Gays for the inspiration.
Way to redeem yourself with way better titles this week.
Wow, you're just digging that hole with them even deeper, Jen. Yeah, so speaking of lit tailgates, like it in all seriousness, shout out to the supporter groups. It was a great tailgate this weekend. The weather was nice, and in particular, Terminus Legion had some folks visiting from Gigi's Playhouse, which is a nonprofit organization that they've been partnering with. And what Gigi's does is they work with kids and families with Down syndrome. And really their whole big thing is that they want to give kids, and families these experiences of like kind of just being part of the community. And so they were invited out to the tailgate. It was a lot of fun. I got to paint some faces, got to see some smiles that were like incredible. And they had some friendship bracelets and everything. And I don't know about you, Jen, but I just was really, I was pretty occupied in one space, but I was feeling the vibes from everywhere. It was
really great. And it was also super awesome to have not just our unified squad come out, but also the unified squad for Toronto FC. And we're going to talk more about unified because they had a heck of a season this year, and we need to like get down and celebrate what they did.
Yeah, no, in fact, that was about it. In the title was specifically a shout out to the one other lit thing from the weekend, which was the unified. But please continue.
Look, I haven't been to a match in almost 3 months. So if nothing else, I got a reminder that my liver was old. And also it was just really good to see everybody and hug your necks and, see Truck Bar was back. I haven't had, so I got to hang with Lynn and Steve, which was great. And, it was a super fun, awesome Sunday that I paid the price for on Monday with extra stupidity, which is why like I'm just really struggling with either like levels all the way up or levels crashing. So anyway, it's good to be home. It's good to be home and be a little bit normal. And there's a lot of fun stuff going on this weekend. In case you live under a rock, this is the weekend where if you're not going to one of Dragon Con, the college football kickoff, Black Gay Pride, or the Decatur Book Festival, you probably want to sit your happy butt at home. Because the traffic is just going to be ridiculous. Don't bother.
The city is out, right? And that's great. It's going to be a great time. I'm excited about going down to Dragon Con and experiencing that. It's definitely one of the more fun events, I think, and very unique. Like,
what is your favorite
Atlanta?
What is your favorite? This is when we lovingly joke that Atlanta is not a real place, and this is the weekend where we literally put our money where our mouth is. So, what is the weirdest thing that you ever saw at Dragon Con?
Oh geez. Like that's so hard. Like and I don't know that it's like necessarily weird. It's just cool the level of things that you see executed. Like I remember last year there's a pretty well-known like cosplayer and she was dressed up like the little shrunken head guy from Beetlejuice. And when I say I thought I was on the set, like it was crazy to me.
Was that
And
your favorite cos? So, what is? Give me your top five all-time favorite cosplays.
if we're gonna do things like this, you got to give me like some promote, like some
No, I
notes in
want it off the
advance so
cuff.
I
You
can
got
like think
reaction.
about
Top.
this. Okay, well, number one, and it's not because it's a great costume, it's just because I'm totally here for the vibe. I love the T Rex mosh pits, okay? Give me every inflatable T Rex, every spin on it, every riff on it, every Triceratops, every carpet T Rex, every whatever you can imagine. And they're all mosh pitting in the Marriott, or whatever, definitely makes the list. Um, do you want to throw in one of yours while I think about
Oh,
what
so
else
you
is
need
on
you
my
need more you
list?
need more time to consider. Okay.
No, I had
Um,
others, but.
okay, so I actually loved a few years ago when a friend of the Pod Fam and tailgate assistant extraordinaire Claire showed up at the Atlanta United watch party as a beer shower. This is so creative. She did the Karate Kid Daniel LaRusso shower costume,
Oh my god.
only instead of having a little shower, it was a beer, and she literally wore that and a towel. It was fantastic. And she
That's
always does
hilarious.
really creative things like Elf GP and no, that
Elf
was
GP
Jess.
was my
GP
wife,
was Jess.
actually.
She
Hang
did she
on.
did she did
That was
LGP.
Jessica?
No, but she did an LGP too for one Halloween tailgate that was
Okay.
pretty baller. That's why
Okay.
I'm sorry I mixed them up.
Okay.
I remember just an Elf GP when you did the Fellowship of the Cup, but I mean, which is
Yes.
also an epic cosplay. Not gonna lie.
It
Um,
was great. My son was Playoff Frodo for Playoff Franco.
yep,
And then I made up a Hobbit character that I called Sam Wins Gamesies.
yeah, it
Um,
was pretty awesome.
And yeah, and in fact, as I was looking for pants to wear for a particular cosplay for Dragon Con, I came across those pants that I used to be the Hobbit. And I think that you could fit both Jessica and I in them now, which was kind of a crazy
We
experience.
actually have all said that we'd pay money to watch that, to see that. So
No, this is
there we
that kind of pod. So anyway,
Let me see here.
speaking of
My
costumes.
Okay, my other I can do this real quick. So
Okay.
my
All right.
the rest of my top five, there was a Harvey Birdman attorney at law that was just epic and awesome. And I love like weird adult animation, and I'm a big fan of like all of that stuff. So that was really good. I saw a the Futurama Amazonians that had signs that said "Death by Snoo Snoo."
Yep. Yep.
And then they
That's a good
proceeded
one.
to, with consent, of course, snoo people to death. That was pretty dope.
Hmm.
And then I'm trying to think what else. Oh, obviously, I saw a really, really good Shira.
Hmm.
And Shira was everything.
Okay.
When I was a kid, so that was pretty awesome. Uh,
So, okay,
yeah,
so for me, so I'm just gonna interject here. Uh, so I think last year I came across this group. There's a group of folks. They set up. I want to say this might have also been in the basement of the Marriott, near like the Walk of Fame. Um, they make full blown action figure like life size boxes, and
wow.
then they play various William Shatner versions.
Oh God.
And they were like mashed up. It was like Barbie Shatner or something, or like Bender Shatner. Like I'm trying to remember. It was great. That one I thought was like really clever, and they may and it looked to me like it might be a thing they like do every year. There are
Okay.
groups like that kind of like come in and they'll do some cool things, and you kind of start to spot them over and over. Um, I also always love it because I am that gay when anybody does like a League of Their Own group, and there's usually at least a couple that I spot every Dragon Con. I'm here for the nostalgia. Um, I do hear that the It costume this year is some kind of K-pop Demon Centers. Is that the official mashup name or
Yeah, we were all
I don't
racking our
know.
brains. I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of last minute Cracker Barrel dudes popping out of the woodwork. So we will see what Atlanta brings. And look, I'm here for it. As long as maybe, like Bucky's outfits or whatever. I don't know. Last year there was a Bucky's Barbie that was pretty good. That had like the Bucky's box. It was pretty. I don't know. It's
I
always
did
creative.
also see like where a girl's like painting a bunch of little miniature bricks like pride colors, which I think is amazing and just gonna hand those out. So anyway, I hope that a lot of you guys are coming down to Dragon Con this weekend, whether it's like for swag and seeking or partying or cosplaying or panels or
Just
whatever. There's something
people
for
watching.
everybody. And let's be honest, we could use the joy. Like we could all use the joy.
You were going to forget about life for a weekend, and that's always not a bad thing.
Listen, and you know what? You can do that when you are in the preseason. Like
You know, I
we
was I was just gonna say, what's easy to forget?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
this match
yes.
that
Yeah, but listen, so, 2025 who? We have moved on and we are happy to report the 2026 again kickoff. The tailgate was lit and it was everything you could hope for. So, I'm feeling good, Jen. Like, why do we have to stress about whatever's going on this weekend? It's just another preseason game. We're moving
that's
on.
literally like the one thing I just kind of want to throw a boot at the MLS scheduling guru people. I don't
Yeah.
understand why inevitably and without fail every year we get boned on our two biggest away matches of the season. Like I got the final count for Nashville and it's 500. It's Nashville this weekend in case you live, in case you weren't aware, in the middle of all the chaos that is the glorious Atlanta of Labor Day weekend, we also have what's historically been our biggest away match of the year
Mhm.
in Nashville. And the grand total of people going is like 560 people. I don't know if
Listen,
you remember 2020 before the pandemic. I know in 2020, I think Footy Mob alone sold 573 supporters tickets for Nissan Stadium for that inaugural match.
no, 100%. There were definitely a couple thousand, probably like official supporters, whatever,
Easily.
like kind of things.
But
Okay,
like
going,
it's
and then, but the thing is that I think that just like it was this way with Orlando for a bit, I think that the owners of Nashville and Charlotte have a bug in the ear of MLS and they don't want to be,
I
whatever out
don't
of their stadium. But this Nashville game, it's just dumb. I think somebody genuinely just doesn't understand how things work. Like, I think somebody in scheduling said, it's Labor Day. That's amazing. This would be a great away. This will be perfect, etc. We can put this here without thinking about the fact that if you actually paid attention to how the fan patterns and things go, that in fact there are too many conflicts this
Well, I
weekend.
mean, it's just dumb because you get so few matches that are the El Trafico of matches without it actually being El Trafico because even the Hudson River Derby doesn't draw dick.
But let's be honest, this is going to be El Car Crash. Okay, like we don't need we don't need what, this is monster truck,
Yeah,
whatever
but like
whatever
I
the, like,
hate that
we're
I
just going to
don't get
get
to
demolition
go.
derby. That's what we're going
It
into,
is.
and we're the
It is.
demolished.
And look, I don't have any expectations of the footy being quality this weekend. We're going to get stomped, and it's the whatever. And you know what though? I would so rather it be our friends to the north that wear jorts, our best frenemies, so to speak, um, than
Best frenemies.
than a lot of other people. And like, I hate that I don't get to go up and hang out and like do our dumpling mob gathering at our one of our friends at Mixtape. He owns a chain of dumpling restaurants. We were gonna have dumpling mob on tour until they dropped this match the weekend of frickin' Dragon Con. Like
All
it's just
right. Well,
it's annoying. I'm
for
annoyed.
those listening, please would you consult Jennifer Taylor on next year's MLS schedule? We're just
Everyone knows I'm the social director here. So like why they're not checking with me on calendar conflict or whatever, like it's just dumb.
yeah, I don't know, man. I feel
But
like maybe it's something that you should take up with them before 2026.
well,
Um,
in all fairness too, like it's a good look for the league that, hey, the game is growing. Look at this traveling support. Look at this inbound traveling, so whatever. Look at how well these matches are attended, and then look at the good stuff that the supporters do when they collaborate and hang out together, because we're really lucky in that respect, especially between both of those matches. We have the championship belt, we have some friendly banter, but we don't have anything remotely close to the horribleness that was, or oh fuck you Orlando, of the pre-pandemic era. you
Yeah,
know
no. I mean, I remember when Nashville joined the league, one of my favorite signs ever was somebody took the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta sign and they painted the Nashville and the Atlanta United kits on them. And the kids said, "Let's hate Orlando together."
yeah,
And it was amazing, right? So, like,
yeah.
I'm here for it. I've been to both Nashville and Charlotte. They were good aways. Like, I would have maybe considered doing it. It sucks. I hope that the schedule is kinder to us. And hey, it does look like we are getting some positive traction for next year. I mean, I saw some good things this weekend out of Jaden Hibbert, and Luke Brennan finally got on the field for a well earned start. Um, and
I have a slight, I don't know that. First of all, Hendo's gone on record now as saying we are targeting a new number one goalie. He has also gone on
Interesting.
he has also gone on record saying that he is going to handle Goose with care and make sure he's treated like the club legend with whatever decision Goose decides to make. Leads me to believe either Hibbert's not ready for prime time yet, or
Mhm.
at least the club doesn't think he's ready for prime time yet. I don't know that you can look at this match as an example of that, because let's be real, not much of anything actually happened during this match. And that's
No, I think I actually made that point when we were making the take, and we said we wanted to shout out Hibbert, and I said, well,
well, what I wanted to
he
shout
did
out
what
was
was expected,
what
right?
I
And
wanted
we
to shout
appreciate
out was the cute new Hibbert chant that started going up in every time he touched the ball, where there was a small little faction of people over in 102 yelling "hib hib hooray," which I thought
it.
was kind of fun.
Hooray!
You know what? We
Oh,
have so few player specific
great.
chants that, like, it's nice to see something like that organically happen. It might have been friend of the pod Nick that started it. It might have been other friend of the pod, other Nick. I was not in a state on Sunday to be able to discern between the Nicks. So whichever one of you Nicks that was doing it, I'm sorry, I don't remember which one it was, but it was cool. We liked it. I did it.
Well, look, here's the thing. I honestly wouldn't read too much into that in terms of like where Hibbert is or isn't at. The reality is that goalkeepers like it, they're they have a much longer shelf life, right? And that also means that often they are, off the bench like later.
Yeah.
So, when you've got a job like what Chris Henderson has, like you've got to be looking for the best you can have all the time.
Well, and
And
what I will say,
and where we at right now, I want to hear it. I want to hear that we're targeting every single thing that we possibly can. Um I would love to feel good about 2026. Um I don't know that I will until it's halfway over because I'm not sure that I trust, anything on paper anymore, right? Because of how we've seen this go.
no, no, but I think Jeremiah on Footy Mob summed it up best with his comment that I watched professional athletes doing what they were contractually obligated to do, no more, no less. Well, maybe slightly less. Yeah, I, I think Hibbert looks solid with his distribution. He got challenged one time. He made a quality save. And
Mhm.
look, he got a clean sheet and he earned $2,000 for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. So that's all very good stuff. And I was happy to see Brennan get the start. I was not happy. Did we do a take about Miggy? We did not.
No, we're
Okay,
not
good.
doing a take about Miggy,
I was
okay?
not
Because
happy to see Miggy in the nine. It made no logical sense.
okay, so here's the thing. Um, it makes logical sense when you insert one of the following things, which is you have a directive that Miggy plays. That's what's going to happen. We're going to figure out, and we've watched that directive play out this entire season,
I
as
mean,
we have quite literally watched every player on the field play out of position, to try to figure out a place where we can have Miguel Almiron and the best other players on the field. And that's fundamentally the issue. What I saw was a desperate Ronnie Dyla saying, please let me put Luke Brennan and Saba on the field, get these folks out there, get them the time. Oopsie poopsie, what does that mean? There's nowhere for Miggy to go. And the directive is play Miggy. And so he ends up as a false nine. And look, on paper, maybe the idea is like interesting. The execution wasn't there. Maybe when everybody's learned how to play their new position, it'll work. I don't know. We're in
Can I
preseason,
ask
Jen.
you a
It's okay.
hypothetical? A hypothetical. I want to ask your opinion on this.
Okay.
How big of a black eye is it to the organization if we wind up buying out Miguel Almiron this offseason?
I don't know that it's like a black eye to anybody. Like, and I don't want to think about it that way. Like, the reality is that life is about taking chances. Everybody agreed it looked fun, it looked shiny, it looked like a chance to grab lightning in a bottle, okay? And sometimes when you go to grab lightning in a bottle, the bottle bursts. All right? And you get burned. Like, and that may be where we are. I don't know. I don't think that we're gonna go straight to buyout. But I don't know. It may depend on what's available in the off season, right? Because there's certainly a clock on at least some people in this organization where we've got to get it right and win, or they'll be the next ones out of this revolving, door. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just for me personally, I don't think it's a black eye on the org. I think it is a it would be a really unfortunate story, and it's not the fairy tale that you want to have play out.
Did you ever watch that show on HBO called Fractured Fairy Tales?
No, I think I know what you speak of, but I'm not sure if I ever like actually watched it.
It was just like, they would send up different, like, I feel like we're living in some sort of weird alternate time frame with how this all has actually played out, because I'm not saying that we are the golden child or the team of whatever, but like, every season we keep thinking, man, it can't get worse, and then 2025 is happening.
Well, I think that that's when you have to sort of just like step back as a sports fan and remember that, like, we're at the beginning of our life as an Atlanta United fan, right? We're at the beginning, and we had a storybook beginning. Like, most organizations don't get that. Cough, cough. New York Red Bulls still haven't won an MLS Cup. Okay,
It wasn't HBO. It was part of the Rocky and Bullwinkle show where they would retell fairy tales in weird ass ways. And
yeah.
that's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I just
No,
clarify.
no. So all I'm trying to say is like I get it. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to tell everybody like you should feel good about this, or telling anybody how to like be a fan. Um, but I've suffered a lot more as a sports fan than I have like class that ephemeral joy of winning the trophy.
You're from
And
Georgia. That's kind of you're from Atlanta. You're
exactly,
from
like, I don't
Atlanta.
know why y'all aren't
Being a sports
like,
fan is to suffer.
right. So, like, this was the exception, like, I spent 40 years of my life and UGA was trash, and then they weren't, for a long
Do you know
time.
what,
So,
I do? Do you know what I do when I'm suffering?
what's that?
I go to Mason Mill.
That's
I get
really
high quality chiropractic care. Okay, well, not me personally, but a lot of my friends go there, and they're a chiropractic firm. They're over in Decatur, Georgia. We know a lot of people that use them. They have wonderful practice with Dr. Cohen and Dr. Miner. Let me see here. I'm supposed to remind you that Dr. Cohen is turning 40 on October 10th, and will be celebrating his 42 at Block and Drum, located in Chambly, with a couple of DJs and a whole big party and an event. And
I believe he is in fact DJ Cairo, right? Isn't
I
one
don't.
of one of the doctors is DJ Cairo, which is
DJ
cool.
Cairo is
Yeah,
a
these
heck
are
of a.
really these are really hip dudes, Jen. Like, for real. Um,
And I heard too that they're putting in some kind of like Zen room for meditation and like
mhm.
sound healing and some more holistic approach practices. So they're fantastic. If you need chiropractic care, you should definitely check them out. We're thrilled that they still put up with horrible segues and us doing our best to try to take care of them. Trust me, they take care of their patients way better than I'm taking care of them right now.
And,
But you
and listen, in all seriousness, if you're joining us down at Dragon Con this weekend, like consider making an appointment for some post-con chiropractic care. That is where it's at.
con
Okay.
drop is a real thing.
Yep.
And when you need to go ahead and set up that appointment, you can call 404-321-0082 or visit them on the web at masonmillchiro.com.
So speaking of birthday parties, which it sounds like it's going to be a really lit one for Dr. Cohen. Um, but here's the thing: what was not a very lit party was the game on Sunday. Can we just talk about that for a minute? Because they put up on the Halo board millionth fan, right?
The irony.
And Tom on Blue Sky, yeah, I'm gonna say that included counts from the Club World Cup and whatnot, because I certainly haven't seen a million fans in and out of that stadium for Atlanta United
They
this
did
season.
say millionth soccer
Right,
fan.
right, right. That's why it's Club World Cup. They must have counted that and Leagues Cup and whatever, and then you got to this
There
at
was
this.
nobody at Leagues Cup.
No, but I had to throw it in there because it was amongst the list of things that they must have thrown in there to get to this millionth fan accolade that was done in what looks sparser to me than a child's birthday party. I'm pretty sure that 40th birthday party may have more fans than were in fact in the bins on Sunday, at least from where I was sitting outside of the bins. I will be fully transparent that I went to the tailgate. I had a great time painting faces and seeing everybody. And then I just had too much to do for Dragon Con, so I came home and watched. And it like there just aren't quite words for. I think everybody who was there should probably have a T-shirt made. Like I'm one of the ones that saw this, whatever this
Why would
was.
you want to commemorate the fact that you sat through that?
I don't know.
I
Just
mean,
because we have
okay,
nothing
look,
else, Jen. We
honestly,
have nothing else. You wanted something. There you go.
it was something. It was definitely that, and I mean, look, I got a good nap at halftime.
Yeah, and we got another ties. I think the
I
Mai Tais at All Stripes must have
oh my
been
god.
flowing since you did take a nap at halftime.
There was a lot of Mai Tais. That was a quality beverage. I had several quality Bloody Marys from Steve, from Mr. Lynn. We had some sort of idiot thing, Doritos vodka. Um,
I cannot believe you drank that. That is
I can't
disgusting.
believe I drank that. It tasted like wet corn chip, and it was not my friend
For
at
anybody
all.
listening, just don't do it. I have seen
It seemed
posts
like
from
a good
several
idea
people,
at
and
the
not a
time.
single person has said that was a good idea.
I
Not
mean,
one.
look, I again, I just, I think, I just, all I ask is for some entertainment. None of that was, and like, I just like, how do you charge money to watch that?
Listen, I get it. I get it. I
And I'm
I
not,
do, in all seriousness, come back to like I have just moved on from this season. Like I think that's the bottom line. Is like I've just moved on from it. I'm no longer invested. I'm no longer going to be emotional about this. Like I am going to go, and if it gets to be, fun soccer again, I'll be excited. I hope things will be better next season. And in the meantime, I'm just going to focus on the positive, and that's us. And, the one other positive thing that 2025 and Sunday brought us was our unified team, who continues to be a source of extreme joy from this club. And
and they had a very good crowd stay
may
behind to cheer them
be a
on.
large reason why some people went to the game on Sunday. I believe that because there were certainly a lot of people that turned out for them at the lot, and then after the match, it looked like just about everybody who was there stayed for the unified match, which is great.
And look, they put on a show. The X-Man got another goal, and this is their
X-Men, it was an X to X, I think.
yes. It,
Xavier to Xavion.
yeah, it was a great match. Really entertaining, up and down soccer, lots of chances. I think Xavier also hit the post twice. Like
Yep,
he had a heck of a game.
yep.
Alex was a little ball of energy out there. Urshansky had a really nice outing, and so did Emma. I'm gonna, is it Sam's or Sims?
Sims.
Sims. Emma Sims also had a really good outing as well. So I mean, kudos to what they've built over there. It is frankly,
They
you
had a
can
free kick that nearly went in the upper 90 that was a really heck of a good shot. And like I think I heard that this is their now third undefeated season.
second undefeated
Second
season.
undefeated season. Um,
And there may be a lot of things that people want to ask questions and whatever. What they do in terms of creating this program with the unified team, the equity that these athletes have, the feature, they got a full on play by play with Jason and Maddie, full on, produced broadcast. They do it for the away matches too. Like,
you're playing in the bins. It's not like it's free to just keep that thing open
no,
and
and
play on the
it's
field.
so, we are really, really lucky to have this program in place, and, thankful to everybody who, has hands in supporting it and giving opportunity for these athletes to really showcase their skills. That's not, I mean, that is a level of soccer I couldn't get out and try to play. And that, even when I was actually an athlete, like, and that was, I'm impressed constantly all the time by the hustle and the drive that all of them have out there. It's
Well, and
fantastic.
I did think it was
So
cool to have the Toronto team like in. Our team got to go to Toronto, and this was now the first inter
it's
country
the first
match,
international unified match.
right, that was played at the Bins.
Yeah,
And the first one was the one we went there because we got to go
right.
first in July. Um, but uh, but yeah, and shout out to them. Like you said, some of the Toronto team like also came down to the lot. I will admit, I painted some TFC on a few faces that asked for it because why not?
Why wouldn't you? I
Um,
mean,
and yeah, it was a good time. I'm really it is a source of pride, the unified team and what the team does with them, and and truthfully, I think that in some ways my tolerance for what we're seeing from the first team is higher because I do know the amount of work that our front office and whatnot put into what I think is a really special, important part of our community, and that's the unified team. So,
this
um,
and look, it just illustrates the point that the beautiful game is for everybody.
mhm,
There's no one that can't enjoy, or can't be a part of this game.
yeah.
It may not always be as beautiful as we'd like it to be, but what we saw out there from Unified this week really was. And kudos to them for having a really standout season. They won the Genuine World Cup. They went undefeated again. Like, is there anything that this unified team can't do?
It doesn't seem like it. The sky's the limit, and I hope that continues to be the case. And also like just in another like I think it's just another way that I feel like we were very lucky with the first iteration of our team. I continue to just love Greg Garza, who shows up and shows out. Works with the unified team, and I love Guzan's like dedication. Like it was also cool to see Matt Edwards and Jay Fortune there with the unified team. It's great to see like the investment from the players as well as the front office and the fans, like all the way around you know? So I don't know. I don't know that I have a lot else to say about that game, to be completely honest with you. It was a 0-0 tie. Like, what do you say?
I
Like, we
don't
have three
think that
ties
there
this
is. You
season.
know what I
One,
can say? I can say my fantastic new bracelet that friend of the pod Cheryl made and gave to me at this tailgate. I'm just here for the thighs. And I will say, of the somehow we made 12 transactions this transfer window, um, I will find some sort of swag and seek to give to somebody who wants to comment on any of our socials what the 12 transactions were, because I can't figure out what 12 transactions were. But that's how many transactions Hendo said we did in this transfer window.
Yeah, you need to take into consideration like the guys that we shipped out and the guys that we
I
shipped in
understood,
and all of that.
understood, but I
So,
still don't think it's
yeah.
12.
Okay. That'll be interesting.
So I'm sure somebody's
I'm
thinking
not
more
gonna
information
attempt to
than I
answer it
do.
because I'd like to leave it for the listeners to
Yeah.
decide and try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
your
So
swag.
yeah, come swag and seek. So yeah, hit us up on the socials and hit us up on the socials and let us know what those 12 things were. And then let's see here. What do we have coming up this weekend? We're going to be in a Dragon Con haze, so we're not committing to anything podcasted related because yeah, Sunday night's the late night puppetry slam, and literally like my whole reason for going to con this year. Because
Yeah,
last
because
year,
I've been trying to talk her into it and she couldn't make it last year because it was not going to be safe for her to drive home and do the puppet slam because it's very late. It
and in all
starts around midnight.
fairness, that was my third late night at con after having done Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday gone up and back to Charlotte, and then spent
Right.
all day Sunday at con,
Yeah,
which
you
means that
overcommitted.
yeah.
I don't know why we're surprised. That is fair
So
enough.
so there's that. But for those of you going up to Nashville this weekend, glad you're making the trip, and know that your friends at the Gulch Travel Committee have you taken care of. There will be a tailgate set up. We did have parking available if you needed it, but I believe the parking's already closed. And of course, our friends at the back line are always welcoming at the Fair Dog Park, their lot 5. So go and say hi to Logan and Breon and Toon J and Penny and everybody else and Gabby and everybody else that's up there. They're awesome people. It's always a good time in Hockey Tonk Land. So y'all be safe traveling. Tell the beaver we said hi. Other than that, why are you making a face?
Nothing. I was just trying to process all of the many names and things and then the Bucky shout out at the end and it was like I don't know, I was having this ASMR moment like I'm hoping, we're just going through like
Gotcha. Let's
advertising
see
while we're
here. Other
on.
fun upcoming things. The September 13th tailgate. We will be running the first annual Great Foodie Mob Bake Off, celebrating the return of the Great British Bake Off. And we'll be supporting an organization called Concrete Jungle that does work against what's the oh my gosh, it's food deserts, and they work on
Mhm.
making sure people have access to healthy, nutritive food products, even if they live in areas where that's hard to come by. So they do a lot of really good work. It's a new partnership for Footy. We're excited to have them on board. So that's going to be going on at the tailgate. Haven't heard what sort of magic All Stripes has cooked up yet, but we'll be back at some point to talk about that stuff. And
No,
yeah,
I mean, and just keep an eye out. There's more stuff coming. I know the Terminus Legion's going to have another community service event. I think it may be with Lifeline Animal again this coming September. So keep your ear to the ground if you'd like to do some fun things with puppies. Maybe an opportunity. I think it's gonna be a fun
it's going to be a fun
2026
fall.
preseason, guys. It's gonna be
Look,
great.
it's fall in the A. The weather's getting better. We're not just supporters. We're your support groups. We're here for you. The community is ultimately the thing that matters, right?
Yeah,
And at
so keep
some point in
showing up
time,
for the community
yeah,
and
and
each
at some
other.
point in time, the team will get better, and that's okay. We'll be here for it when it happens. We're gonna keep hoping. We're gonna keep hoping for maybe a little bit more energy than we got this past week, and maybe not so much with the sluggish. Didn't look like we actually spent the night in our beds, but yeah, whatevs. It's all good.
I
It's
mean, look, everybody's a human being. Like, this has been a mentally exhausting experience this season, but but I think it can only go up from here. We will see and test that theory the next time that we return. Which, as Jen says, I would not count on being this weekend. You'll probably hear from us again maybe next mid next week. We'll see how it goes. But hey, if you're coming to con, shoot us some DMs. Let us know what fun things you like to do, what things are happening, and or share it
Oh,
on
and
the
if we
threads.
hear
And
about anything
do some
official,
fun.
unofficial with a Dragon Con watch party, we will definitely share it on our socials.
Yep.
They keep trying, and we keep getting thwarted by no public, no con hotel has public license for Apple TV.
Wah, wah,
We keep
wah.
trying. It's not that it wasn't tried or thought of. Anyway, um,
So with that, I guess we're gonna probably wrap. I know it's a short pod this week, but we busy. You
we got
busy.
stuff to do.
Lots of stuff happening. And yeah. But till next time, like guys, like I said, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, show up for the community, lean on each other. And if you're listening, Glenn and Kat, we miss you. Come back soon.
Please come back. We're struggling without you. Oh, yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Love that.
Happy
That's
Dragon Con week,
great.
everybody.